Welcome everybody, I'm Absurdum. We're going to play some Battle Brothers today. Now, I want to start a new season. The last one, I think we could have kept playing it, but it was just getting dry. No one really told me which way they felt about going, and I just felt like it was time to end it. So I want to do something new. We're going to play the Legends mod. Now, I've only kind of read things about it here and there. I'm not super familiar with it until just now when I downloaded it and gave it a quick try to make sure it was working. And they add a lot of really interesting things that I'm super excited to see. So let's talk about it a bit more. I'm going to assume you don't know anything about it either. I don't think too many people really play mods with this game, which is kind of a shame. One of the first things it does is it adds classes and parties that you can choose from in the beginning. I think party is just every single person, solo person, put together. Each slightly weaker in their own starts than their own starts. Yeah, that's fair. I believe that is the case, just weaker versions, which makes sense. Let's see here. We got a Berserker, medium, solo commander. We'll talk about commanders in a second. AoE damage, moves fast in mountains and wildlands. We'll talk about movement too, because that's been changed. A lot of things have been kind of changed and tweaked to kind of make things different, but a lot more fun, I think, too. Noble, it's easy, 6-man start, leadership and support skills. More supplies and slower supply usage. Faster marching speed on flat land. Rangers, there's 3 rangers. 3 roster slots. Grant followers Pathfinder. Great range damage. It's faster in forest. So these are the 2 I tried. Seer and Warlock. Seer was kind of cool. Can heals your party faster. Crowd control kind of things. Basically you get a lightning bolt. And you can summon a cat too. That's what I did. It was alright. It's fine. Warlock was a lot of fun. And right before I found this and kind of started playing it, I had ideas of maybe trying to edit a saved game for a solo start where you play kind of as a Warlock with some of the new items that the DLC have put in, and just try to do more of a kind of roleplay thing with it. But this is not too far, and kind of a better version of what I was thinking about doing anyways. It says harder. It wasn't really that bad. It's kind of cool. You can sacrifice some of your health to summon a couple skeletons. You can, you get a scythe, like a 2-handed scythe right at the beginning. There's a bunch of cool things, and I'm sure it only gets cooler. You can do the beggar start, which sounds fun but hard at the same time. And then there's your classic start too, which I'm sure just does everything normal in the Legends world. I'm not opposed to doing another Warlock one, but I think right off the bat for our first time, we should either do probably party or noble. Each party will have a commander. That's you. If you die, it's over. So starting a solo one, I'm not necessarily sure I want to not necessarily sure that I necessarily want to do that right now, with more necessaries. Otherwise, this could be a lot of fun too. I don't know, they all sound like a lot of fun, to be perfectly honest. Nobles. Sounds like well, no, go back. This sounds probably the easiest, but I think it would also give us a good idea of what everybody kind of does. And that's more or less why I'm interested in it. I bet it will be pretty easy, but this game is hard regardless. This mod makes it harder regardless. I'm gonna do this. I really like this shield. Battle Brothers. We'll do. I didn't think about this. I'm gonna just stick with the map seed. Permanent destruction. I'll turn off probably. I think it's meant to be played with. There's a lot more cities than there used to be, but the wars are longer and things like that too. I just don't know how it's going to play out. I would love to be able to keep that on, to be perfectly honest. Smack my microphone around. I'm going to raise it up a bit because it's kind of picking up this keyboard a little. And I think it's just doing it through my desk, which is very unusual, but I don't want you guys to have to listen to it. We'll just do Absurdians. We'll do the Absurdians. Like I said, we'll check this off. I'm gonna stick with everything basic. This is really my trial run. I've never played this before except for like the, no joke, 20 minutes. I just tried out those 2 classes, wanted to make sure everything worked. This is the other thing. You can kind of modify your world settings too. You can modify the size, how much land there will be, how much water connectivity it will be. Default's 4. Small value results in patchy water around the map corners. The snow line, which is also kind of cool. You can turn on the debug, which I'm not going to. Number of settlements, maximum settlements depending on the map size, and 3 factions. So we can have more towns and more factions. That's really cool. I like the world to be hidden. It's kind of cool. It's kind of a cool experience. So from there, we're just kind of jump into it. We'll see what this is about. If this ends up being super easy, we'll call it a good time and just move on and maybe start a more difficult start. But I think this will be a great way to get a good feel of all the different characters and experiences you can have. Oh, that's interesting. They gave me the Hogarth, the Reezer intro. The other 2 I played didn't. They had their own like custom intros, which was really cool too. That's pretty cool. I imagine we're gonna massacre these people though. So this must be our Berserker. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, wow, he starts off with some really strong stuff. But there's a lot of weapons and new enemies and stuff added. And yeah, this guy does seem really strong. Holy crap, 82 melee skill. He's got a fear of greenskins. He's impatient. Okay. So far that all seems pretty normal. Tonight, can I save you? Not if you die. So he can shoot a rocket. And by that I mean a magic missile. Which is kind of cool. This is a guy that I did experience a little. Let's see if we can take a shot at Hogarth. No. It misses. That's pretty typical. It's Fine here, who is clearly our Crusader. And looks pretty bam for it. Crusader sword. That's pretty awesome. Alright. Let's get on with it. Hopefully no one dies here. Can't seem to hit anything. %. There we go. I was kind of worried that he was going to die. I don't know if people can die in the first fight. Normally they can't, but I don't know what's real anymore. I don't know. We'll unpause so we can get a sight of where we are. So real quickly to... Yeah, there's the rest of our party. God, dude, you got beat the hell up. Normally these people start off at level 2 when you pick them, I think. Ooh, that doesn't seem very good. Night Blind. Conrad, what are you? You're noble? And you're clumsy. That kind of sucks. Alright, so first off, we'll talk about the world map a bit. So you can see it looks more or less the same, but you have different movement speeds for the terrain types based on who your party is. Who is in your party affects a lot of things, from how much supplies you can carry, how fast you heal, how fast you repair. There's nice helpful tooltips now to show what everyone's eating. Everyone costs a day, which is kind of great. Conrad's a noble, so he has a barter skill, which is really cool too. Repair modifier, 10% because of it's fine. And we can hold at 97 medical supplies because of the people. You can see up here we're 6 out of 6. This number changes based on your commander and his skills. Same with supply usage and movement speed and things like that, as far as I can gather and know. These are all more or less things that I've read from the description of the game. So you can see them. Oh, that's really cool. You can see the modifiers right there. Make sure there's no other pop-ups. We'll go back to town, because that seems perfectly reasonable. We'll get paid. We'll look at everyone. we have unfinished business. And I think that'll be a much more interesting fight, as we can really get to see some of the new enemies and weapons and whatnot. You can already see here we have a tip staff, just a two-handed staff. That's what our seer has equipped. Nothing special here though, which is kind of surprising. You can buy tools in sets of 10 instead of 20 all the time. Same with ammunition. I like that change. There's pebbles for your slings that you can buy. Like, there's a fair amount of like new low level equipment, wooden spears, scythes, sickles, that kind of stuff. Just for there's basically enemies less than thugs running around. I don't know if we'll see much of them, or if they're really just for like the solo starts or not. What do we have here? We have a widow. That's right, there's a woman in here. She probably isn't very good. And another woman. This is a milkmaid. Probably also isn't very good. Well, there doesn't seem to be much going on here. Let's... East. Okay, I was going to say, which way are we going for this? Let's get around, see what we can find. Buy weapons and armor is silly because I don't feel like we really need that, but okay. I don't even think it's really worth going into town, to be perfectly honest. We can't recruit any people. Don't really need to. Still a little busted up there, friend. Let's go ahead and get your helmet. God, this thing sucks. It's nothing. No wonder they stabbed you down so quickly. Oh yeah, so let's take a look at people. The Berserker here. Right now it just appears to have his normal abilities. Let's see. Blood Harvest, gain 10% chance to hit for all area effect attacks. Holy crap. All damage inflicted is increased by 20% for any weapon used. What could stand before you now? That's a really great question. Sprint skill. Sprint over distances in a straight line. Huh. Steadfast. Getting hit by regular attacks does not cause any loss of fatigue anymore. Attacks that specifically target fatigue are unaffected. So you have, excuse me, some of your normal tiered stuff over here, but over here is kind of the newer things from what I can tell. Quick hands, okay, that's normal steel brow. Fine, make me look like an idiot. Composure, train to keep you cool. This is something I've seen other people be able to get to. Grants immunity to stun. I'm not sure specifically how that works out, but it does sound pretty cool. True Believer, lesser men may cower and flee. You're unassumable. Unusable. No, that's not it. I don't know what that word is. In your commitment. You're unwavering in your commitment. Allies fleeing no longer lower this character's morale. Oh, that's kind of cool. Taunt. Debilitate. Unlocks Debilitate skill, which can prime your next attack to cripple a target for 1 turn. Reducing the ability to inflict damage by 50%. That's really interesting. Throwing Mastery. Poison Immunity. Battle Heart. Wade into the thick of battle, dodging blades from behind and above, aware of all around you. Being surrounded no longer affects this character's defenses. Huh. Sundering Strikes, effectiveness versus armor. By 20%. Push forward, direct your troops to attack once, granting +10 melee skill to all allies within 4 tiles. Whoa! Fatigue regeneration. Put your full weight, +10% of your current hit points as additional maximal damage. Last Stand, 1% additional melee and range defense for every 1 hit point missing. Return Favor. A skill which, when active, 50% chance to stun any opponent missing a melee attack against this character in retaliation. Immunities and resistances still apply. So it's like Repose, but you stun them. After receiving a blow, the next attack of this character will inflict 20% damage to both hit points and armor. If the attack misses, the effect is wasted. So there's a lot to go through with them. They have a life siphon, they can raise dead skeletons, which is obviously really cool, but you're supposed to have bones here, so I don't know if they're really going to be able to do that. Maybe you just get the bones when you unlock the thing. That might be what it is. Wither. Ability to target for 1 turn, reducing the ability to do damage. So that's cool. That's just a spell. Rust. Deform, rip, and otherwise render the target's armor unusable with great effect. Although the impact will be felt through thickest of armor, it won't inflict the most injury to the wearer. So there's some really cool stuff. So far this all seems to be pretty normal for you. You have Rebound, Cheek Regeneration +5, that's cool. Shield Expert seems the same. You can only have Masteries for so many weapons. You have Return Favor, Inspiring Presence. Allies start every battle at Confident Morale unless prohibited by traits. Ranger starts with Pathfinder. Lookout +1 visual. Night Vision. Debilitate, Sprint. So some of these we're seeing in more in one place. Devastating Strikes. Double Strike. After landing a hit, the next melee attack does plus 20% damage to both hit points and armor. That's interesting for you. Poison Mastery. Giving you the ability to keep your weapons covered in poison at all times. Wait, they're just always poisoned? Ballistics. The range penalty to hit chance is reduced by 1 per time. Wow, that's really great too. So we'll spend more time looking at these. I don't want to spend the entire episode just kind of looking at it. We'll return with this head. Let's legitimately fight something. We gotta kill the weasel. Still doing kind of okay on time. So you can see here we have a few thugs and a poacher. I don't think this is really any different than normal, which is sad. I was really hoping to see some rabble, just because they're cool. Let's see what you can do. I really want to take up the spot, and you know what? Screw it. What is this? You have regular slash too. Wow, you have a lot of things with the sword. Well, he's dead. Good to know. Okay, let's get you back. I'm afraid someone's gonna shoot you and you're just gonna be gone. Two enemies left. One enemy left. Where the heck is he? You in there? Okay, he's in there. 30% of his remaining health I can drain. Ah, but only if I need to heal it. Interesting. Try to get everyone in there. We can daze them. Try to crowd control them. Daze. Assault the senses of your target with a flurry of colors, sparks, whirls, and pops. Such an astonishing display is sure to leave anyone too bewildered to fight effectively. Does no damage. Leave your opponent bewildered, having their damage and fatigue. Whoa. 29% chance. I have a probably much better chance of shooting them with something. Or whapping them with a stick. No, it's actually the same as whapping them with a stick. Is that based on your melee? I think this is definitely ranged attack skill. Well, the other one's probably just melee. Interesting. I don't know why I think that's hilarious. It is, though. Alright, well, we killed him. That was underwhelming. Got beer and gold. Alright. Let's do it. Beer and gold. Did we get any armor? I didn't look. This guy needs new armor. Surely he's not supposed to stay in that. That would be terrible. Let's level him up. That's going to be difficult to deal with emotionally. Blood Harvest. There's a chance. Whole area effect. Holy crap, that's awesome. Does not cause the loss of fatigue. Kind of feel like maybe I should just get Colossus to track his health up. I'll be really devastated if he dies. Instantly. Kind of find around him might not be bad either. Blood Harvest, though, seems like an obvious choice. How can you not pick Blood Harvest? Let's please get you some real armor. It's cool seeing that armor. Let's try to get you some real armor. Aldebert. Alright, I think we are looking relatively okay there. Just put that in your back pocket. Some of these people should probably really get shields. I can imagine it's the only amount of time. I'll keep that in mind. Before we really have to start dealing with getting ranged attack and stuff. Some of these guys might be alright. Others, I don't know if that's going to be the case. I'd like to do one more job here. There's something in the woods over here. 4 brigands. Some thugs. Let's get them. That's free something. And I want it. Don't like forest fights, but it's going to be alright. Oh, he's got a scythe. Look at that guy. Oh, there we go. Didn't even see him. No, we probably could have just waited, but we know there's somebody standing behind him. We know there was someone standing behind him. Again, that's pretty underwhelming. Maybe we will just do a solo start. I don't know. We'll see. It's hard because I just really want to get to know some of these classes better before I pick one. Ooh, friend. What are you doing to me there? It's hard to pass up both of these. Crippling strikes. Lives, student. I feel like we're going to be nailing that anyways. Cover is almost certainly going to be a skill you're going to want. I would think. So Daze is actually based off of melee skill, which is kind of crazy. Inscribe Weapon. Now this is something, now that I have other people, I very much want to check out. It allows her to inscribe any weapon equipped by anyone in the company with a random rune sigil. Possibilities: aiming, feeding, power. Upon success, she needs 20 days before she can inscribe again. Might as well do it now. Inscribe helmet. That's some pretty cool stuff. Revolt. So, oh, nauseous. You force one of your targets to retreat just so they can breathe. That's pretty bitchin'. The magic missile is clearly based on this. And then do I just want range defense so I don't get cut down? I don't know. So how do I use this? 20 days until I can start inscribing another weapon. Oh, it starts with the cooldown active. I should probably double check to make sure that's actually correct. Oh no, she already did one. She ruined this sword. Silly me. She just does it automatically? Huh, interesting. Look at the sword. 20% ignores armor. This item is inscribed with her feeding plus 10% of inflicted health damage recovers fatigue. Ooh. Oh, that's awesome. I thought it was just gonna, like, you eat less food every day, which is really boring. Right, that's not nearly as fun. Missing people, that's a job for us. What's it worth to you? Let's think about it. How much are we costing a day? 139 crowns. That's a respectable price for these people. This is part of the game. Let's go to the Ruined Brewery. Huh, that's pretty cool. I'd like to take both these jobs, actually. Alright, so I think we're going to take the break here. Let me know if there's anything that's still very confusing about this, because I feel like I was all over the place explaining it. I know there's still plenty of things to explain. Let me know your thoughts. I'm going to try to record a couple episodes just so I have enough to get through the weekend. So if you leave a comment, I might not get to it right away is where I'm going with that. But otherwise, let me know what you think. I'm going to take a quick break, double check the sound on this just because I've reinstalled my OS and everything, and that's part of the reason why I think OBS is being a little funny, and my microphone's being a little funny. So I want to make sure that this episode also didn't sound like complete crap. So that's part of the reason we're ending early, but it's about 26 minutes, where I kind of like to end about 30 anyways. So, once again, let me know what you think. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave a comment, tell me please, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.